Yo, what up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm back here with my SuperSport Ducati 950, and what I'm gonna be working on is actually two issues that I'm having. Number one is that my key, for some reason, it doesn't want to unlock. So I'm turning it, and as I move the bars, it's locked, and it doesn't let me go past that. I took it in and out. I struggle with it, move it in and out. Move the handlebars, nothing. I even bought some of this dry lube. I did some graphite. I even put a little bit of DW40, even though it's not recommended, but just to see if releases the lock, but nothing. And the other issue that I'm having is that I'm pretty sure the battery's dead. I haven't turned it on in about a month. And I even bought one of these Ducati battery charger, hooked it up to the service port because it came with this already. And as I'm doing it, let me take off the seat. It's hooked up here, which it should be, right? I put it and it doesn't charge the battery. So I was thinking maybe this is faulty, but I connected to another battery that I have and it charged it right up. I put it on here for about at least a full day. Nothing doesn't charge. So it leads me to believe that something's wrong with this, or the battery's just too far gone to fix. So what I'm gonna intend here to do is I have to remove the left fairing because the battery is located right here. I'm gonna remove the fairing to get to the battery to see if I can charge it directly or jump start it. And hopefully that fixes my key. I'm thinking it might be related because there's no power to the bike. And if not, then at least I'm gonna change this one to the one that connects straight to the battery. And let's see what happens with this one. So let me set up and I'll walk you through the process. All right guys, so I'm gonna start by removing the fairing. There's a couple screws. I'll show you the location, which one is right there. There's another one up here, right there. And then this piece slides out this way. And then there's one here. Let me show you right there. There's one right there. Then there's one right there. Another one right here. There's about two on the belly pan, and the rest are right here, which I'll show you guys when I get to that spot. And then what you do is after you take off all the screws, this pops like this, pops forward, and then this pops back in order to take off the fairing to get to the battery. So let me get to that. All right guys, so I ended up taking off the screw right here. I use my drill with an extension. It's a T25. And then for this one, since I can't turn my steering, I use this shorty right here, and this is how I'm taking it off to create space. So once you end up taking up the screws, all you have to do is pick up this piece right here and slide it out. And then you can take it off, and there's a screw right there. You got to remove those two screws right there. All right, so I ended up taking up the screws. So this one right here, this one right here, right there, this one right there, another one right there, and the one on the bottom. Let me show you right there. So see, this is loose now. So now you're done on this side, so we need to take two more from the bottom and the rest come on this side. I'll show you guys right now. All right, so I'm in the front of the motorcycle, and the remaining screws are here, 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 and there's two here on the bottom, which is that one and that one back here. So now what we have to do is pull this portion forward so it pops out, and then it pops out on the side. So let me show you. All right, so I ended up taking up the fairing already. So what you gotta do on this side, you just pop it forward from here. You pop them from there, so they just pop out, and then there's one more nipple here. So what you do is just grab from here and you pop, get it here. Once the whole fairing moves this way, then you gotta release it from this one. So you just push it back, and that's it, and the fairing comes out. So now that battery is right here. I'm gonna see if I can jump it, and if not, I'm gonna remove it to see if I can charge it, and then I'll let you know what happens. All right, so I ended up deciding I'm gonna take off the battery to charge it properly. So you have to take off two screws that hold brackets in, which is the bracket for this one. It's a 4mm Allen right here, which I use this one, 4mm Allen. And then for the bottom, there's a bracket down here that you remove the bracket right here. That one's held on by a 8mm right here. So use this one. And once you remove those two brackets, you can move it out the way. Then you're gonna take off the screw from here, and then you can pull the battery out. So as you pull the battery out, it comes out with the cradle that it has here. So all you gotta do is just slide it off the cradle, and you can take the battery and get it to charge. And then this one, just put it aside, so when you get ready to install the battery back, slide the battery in, and it goes back in there. All right, so I ended up charging the battery overnight, so now it's full. And the way you put the battery back on is you gotta sit it on the cradle, slide it on the cradle, put the cradle back in its original position. There's a 8mm screw down here. And then once you do that, you can start putting back the terminals. And then to put this piece here with this bracket to make it easy, what I did is I get the 4mm Allen screw here, put it through this case right here, put the bracket on, and with the bracket on, you gotta screw it onto here, right there. So from here, just make sure you got it, line it up, and you can start screwing it like so. All right, so now with the battery mounted, I just want to let you know that my plug that is connected here to the original port, it was actually fine. When I connected the Ducati charger, what it was is the battery was too far gone. All right, so the next thing I'm doing to diagnose the key problems, I'm taking off the ignition. So I was able to take one out. So I used a 2-nut method, as you can see right there. I put a nut on the bottom, then I put another on top, lock them together. And now you take it's a 10mm. Take the bottom one and just spin it out. It's tedious, but if you do it slowly and you have patience, it will come out. As you can see, I'm able to spin it as I took one out already. So once I take off the ignition, then I'm gonna see what's going on, if I'm able to somehow release it. If not, then I'll troubleshoot it next. I'll see what's gonna be next. All right, guys, I wanted to share with you the size of nuts that I use to remove the ignition bolts off. This is the only size that I was able to make it work in order to lock them in place and remove the ignition bolts off. I tried different sizes, and a little bit bigger didn't give me the space in order to lock them in place because the threads itself on the bolts were too small. This is the size that worked for me in order to get the bolts off. So here's in centimeters. Right, so you guys could use this reference. Here's in inches. So with this one, I was able to take the bolts off. All right, guys, so I ended up unbolting the ignition. Now, if you follow the cable all the way down, it's just 2 cables right here. This one and this one. Let me show you guys, those 2. So I guess I just gotta loosen up this cable tie, and then I'll be able to unplug them. And just keep in mind, you're gonna have to remove the left side fairing in order to have a better access to here. All right, to have better access to the cables, this one is connected here in this little bracket. So I ended up just pushing out the way and tucking it. Like that, it gives you more space. And then to get these, which is the main ones that you need, this one is held on in a little bracket. Where is it? Let me show you guys, right there. So I just pushed it back from its bracket, and now you're able to get to the plug easier without struggling too much. So the plugs have 2 push tabs, which is one is on this one. You push it and then pull it out, which for this one, and then the same thing for this one. It has a little tab there, see? That goes connected here. So you push it on this side and then pull it out. Now they're disconnected. Now I just gotta follow the wires up and push it out. In order to get the cables out, you just gotta route them through here. And as you can see, they come out. So I got them out already. Here it is, here's the ignition. And I'm gonna troubleshoot some more to see if I'm able to fix this. If not, then I'm gonna have to, I guess, buy this whole assembly and get it going, because it does not want to unlock. All right, so success with this. So what I end up doing is I took off the antenna cover. It has some clips here and here, unclipped it to get it out the way, took off the zip ties. I actually grabbed some WD-40, flushed it from here, and then there's a little hole right here. If you can see it right there. I threw some WD-40 in there to flush out whatever was in there. Let it sit overnight, and I just started messing around with it, and I was able to get it unlocked, as you can see, finally. See? So now it turns freely, feels good. And that's it for that. So now what I gotta do is put everything back together. I put the cap back on, put the zip ties, and now I gotta run the wires where I routed it out from and put everything back together. All right, so I'm putting the ignition back in. As you can see, the wires right there. You just run them through the back, close to the tank, and you're gonna see this right here. See right here? So you just run them through there, bring them out here, and here's the original wires. So I just gotta make sure to tuck everything back in place, clip everything in its own brackets, and that's it, and plug everything up. All right, so make sure all the connectors are plugged, and make sure you clip it in the bracket right there. You see that bracket right here? Make sure that that big one goes into that bracket, and then this small one right here has its own bracket right there. So now everything's connected, ready to go. I just gotta bolt on the ignition and put the fairings back. All right, so in order to get the ignition bolted back in, all you have to do is line it up, start it by hand as far as you can. And at this point, you're still gonna have the nut in there that you used to take it out. So what I did is I hit it with my impact wrench, tying it up as much as you can. And then to remove this nut and just leave the bolts in there, put it, backed it out, and to give it like 3 quick spurts, like really quick, like, so you can just loosen up this. If at first you do it and it keeps loosening, then try to make this tighter on the bottom and then hit it real quick in order to just get this nut out. Now from here, all you have to do is finish up and put this back cover back on and put the screws there. All right, guys, I got my fairing here ready to install back. So make sure you put on this side first, this one right here, this tab, which goes right here. So what you do is you get the fairing, slide it in here first, and then you push it in forward to get it onto those right there and get it onto that nipple type of clip right there. And then the rest is just screws. All right, guys, I wanted to show you where the screws go all along the fairing because there's different sizes. So this one right here, a little bit longer one, goes on the bottom of the fairing right there. These two, one goes right there and the other one's right there, right there. And then this one right here, that one goes right here. And these two small ones go on under the belly pan. And this is chrome one right here. If you can see right there, that one goes in here. And for the two remaining that go up here, one there and the other one right there. So this one goes on the inside and this one goes on the outside. All right, guys, I want to make a quick correction. So the two small ones that I said they go on the bottom belly, they go right there. And these two are the ones that go on the bottom over here. All right, and this last two, the big one, the longer one goes on the inside right here, and the shorter one goes right there. All right, guys, as you can see, I got my bike up and running. The repairs are done. In this video, I'll show you guys how to remove the fairing to get to any of those components or the battery, and how to remove the ignition in case you were having ignition issues like I was. All the stuff that I use, I'm gonna be linking them in the description of the video. All right, so don't forget to like, subscribe, any comments, questions, leave them below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.